First things first, I want to give thanks to everyone who served our nation, those who put their lives on the line for our God and country. You deserve our thanks, and quite honestly, a lot more. Now that we've had almost an entire week to digest the fact that Donald Trump is back as President of the United States and everything that comes with it, now I can pretty much put it in perspective. I need to make something very clear to all of you out there watching this video. I am not going to stop telling the truth about what's going on with Donald Trump. Because quite honestly, that's exactly what he and his supporters want. For us to stay quiet, for us to stay silent. That is never going to happen. Donald Trump is 100% evil in my view. His followers are 100% evil. Right now, in the last few days since the election was called for him, we've seen absolutely nothing but complete and total evil coming from his followers. From Jesse Waters saying that it's going to be hilarious watching people being dragged out of their homes, regardless if they're illegal immigrants or American citizens, to someone actually texting millions of students, telling them it's time for them to start picking cotton. That's what we've been seeing in the last few days. But something else has been bothering me the last few days too. And yeah, I'm going to get religious on you. In the last few days, I've seen two sides when it comes to spirituality, in this country. On one hand, you have Donald Trump supporters saying that he's a gift from God. And on the other hand, you have people who are saying that they've lost their faith, not just in the electoral process, but lost their spirituality because Donald Trump was reelected. To the first group of people, I want to say this. Donald Trump is not a gift from God. There is nothing holy about that man. Nothing. He has shown that he is 100% a monster. He has shown that he is pretty much the devil incarnate. I have never seen any kind of holy behavior from this man. And to put things in perspective, I have seen everything unholy about him. Whether it's telling someone he can grab women by the private parts because he's rich and famous, to his inhumanity when it comes to actually lying about the hurricane, about the Biden's response to natural disasters in this country. All of it, so he can whip his entire support base into a frenzy. There is nothing holy about that man, and I'm going to continue to call him out on it. And yes, I've been receiving threats, I've been receiving lies about me. Quite honestly, if that's the way you want to go with this, then that's how pathetic you are. Because if you can't back up what you're saying about me and about everyone else without lying about it, that shows how incredibly destructive you all are. And the second people I want to talk to are people who said that they've lost their faith because Donald Trump was reelected. I felt the same thing you guys are feeling now. Anger, resentment, abandonment. And yeah, even I had that bout of losing my faith. Because Donald Trump, because basically this entire country, a good portion of this country, whether he cheated on this election or not, pretty much shook hands with the devil and said and conned themselves into saying that they were doing the Lord's work. But I had to really think about it and pray on it for a long time, for days after his election. I had to look in this, and I had to do my research in the scriptures, some of which I'm going to show you right here and now in this video. I had to actually burrow myself into the Bible itself. And there are things I learned from there. God is greater than man. And that's a lesson all of us should learn now, regardless if it was Barack Obama who was president, George Bush who was president, Joe Biden as he's now the current president, and especially Donald Trump, although he thinks he's a god. Of course, he's not a god. The second thing I learned is never let anyone take your joy. And yeah, it sounds kind of mopey and it sounds kind of this, that, and the other, but never let a person take your joy away from you. Because if you let someone, see me personally, this whole week, the night of the election, my stomach was in knots. I couldn't sleep the entire night. I went to work almost nodding off. If it wasn't for the fact I was walking around in circles, I probably would have fell asleep in my chair. But the next day, it all passed. My stomach was fine. I got some good, much needed sleep. I got back into the gym. I worked out. I watched my favorite football team, the Ohio State Buckeyes, and my other football team, the Indianapolis Colts, which I won't get into that. Never let a person steal your joy away from you. Never let that happen, because the minute you let any person, and it doesn't even have to be Donald Trump. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be a coworker, it could be your boss. Never let a person steal your joy away from you. Because the minute you do that, you're letting the devil win. Whether you're religious or not. Whether you think the devil is real or just a metaphor for evil or all the bad things that happen. Whether you think God is real or not. Whether you're saved like I am or not. Never let anyone steal away your joy. Because right now, Donald Trump thinks he has ultimate victory. He doesn't. He won an election of the people. And that election is still suspect, but I won't get into that. At least not yet. This election was suspect. 20 million votes disappearing? But we'll get to that later on in another video. What I'm trying to say is don't let this guy steal your joy. Steal what makes you happy in this world, whether it's spending time with your kids or going out to an amusement park or a sports game. Don't let him steal your joy away from you. Trump is a man. He's a scumbag, but he's still just a man. Because if you let him do that, then you give him power over you. He can use all that and say, you feel joyless? I can give you back your joy. And Donald Trump can't do that. He can't. Yeah, he may be able to lower prices or all that other crap he says he is, and I'm going to hold him to that, but that's a video later on. Now, he can scream, hoof, and holler about how, vote for me and I'll set you free. But in the end of the day, he is just a man that we employed, that his followers employed to become president of the United States. And honestly, I think the man is going to fail miserably. I won't get into the plot of what the Republican Party really wants to do, because that sounds like a conspiracy theory, but considering everything we've seen, it holds a lot of water. That J.D. Vance is going to stand by and become the next president, and the Republican Party will just throw out the 25th Amendment out and get him pulled from office. I wholeheartedly believe that that's what's going to happen. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Donald Trump may do a good job. and emphasize the word maybe, as in maybe not. But in the end of the day, in the final analysis, don't let Donald Trump control your life, whether you're against him or for him, because I don't intend to do the same thing. I'm going to hold him accountable for the things he and his followers do, mind you, but I'm not going to let him change the way I live. I'm thinking about going back into college and taking classes, going for my bachelor's. I already had my associates, going for my bachelor's. Regardless of what Donald Trump wants to say or his followers want to say about it. But when it comes to Trump, he doesn't have control over my life. Whether I'm against him or for him, don't let him have control over yours. Otherwise, like all the other despots in history, the Hitlers, the Mussolinis, the Tojos, all the way going back to biblical times, the pharaohs, they will win if they take away what makes you, you. What makes you happy in this world. And at that point, as I said earlier, once you're joyless, they own you. They say, I can give you back your joy. Don't let that happen. Please don't let that happen. Regardless if you voted for Trump or not, don't make Donald Trump the center of your universe. Most of you out there have families. Think about them. Most of you have children. Think about them. Make sure that they're the center of your life. Because if you're thinking about Trump, whether you're voted for him or against him, you're lost. Pure and simple. Don't do that to yourselves. But Trump, I'm going to say this to you, and you can take this as a threat. I and the rest of this country are going to be watching you like a hawk. You screw up, we're going to be on you like stink on doo-doo. You F up, and Americans get killed because of it. We're going to be on you like flies to crap. Don't think for 1 second, just because you think you have ultimate power, that you're above the law. You're not. Now, you may get away with the crap you've done because the DOJ is going to drop charges, but we're watching you like a hawk. And as I said before, if you want to take this as a threat, take it as a threat. But I'm not threatening you. I'm holding you accountable. You got away with the crap you did once, never again. And for your sake, you better be ready to work the second you become president. All those promises you said you were going to get, lowering prices of the gas prices, lowering grocery prices, ending the war in between Ukraine and Russia that Russia started, your boy Vladimir Putin started, ending the war in Gaza, where Israel retaliated after the terrorist attack. That's cost the lives of I don't know how many civilians. You said you were going to put an end to it. We're going to hold you to it. You talked your talk. And we're going to watch you fail to walk the walk. And once that failure once that failure happens, even your die-hard supporters out there are not going to be able to save your ass. Bank on it. One way or another, this is the last time a man or woman for that matter, with the last name of Trump ever serves in the presidency. And you have yourself to blame for that. And the MAGA have themselves to blame for it. You should have just walked away when you had the chance, boy. But instead of being the man you're not, you decided to try to hide for the presidency. And being the idiots that the MAGA are, they gave it back to you. Now it's the time to see if you can dance. But being the old ass idiot that you are, that doesn't count as dancing. That looks like you're having a damn seizure. Do yourself a favor, Trump. You're the president for now. But when the time comes for you to run, get on your plane and run to Russia. Because one way or another, you're going to be held accountable for the things you've done, come hell or high water. And make no mistake about this, Trump. You've gotten away with a lot of crap in your entire life. But make no mistake about this. The American people are the hell and the high water. Bank on it. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.